is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
Causing the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling them.
This is the first time in a long they had 11. Send us some of your men.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 10.
And right now at 10, breaking news from the Katy area. A man found shot to death in the doorway of his own home. Hello, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Dominique Soxa.
Good evening, I'm Andy Sirota. Channel 2's Jonathan Martinez live off Lindenfield Drive and Brandon Oaks Way with the newest information. Jonathan.
In Andy and Dominique tonight on the scene, family members of that victim are out here. Lots of hugs and tears are being shed. Also on the scene this evening, investigators who are still looking into this deadly shooting. An otherwise quiet neighborhood roped off with crime scene tape following a startling discovery at a home along Lindenfield. That's where authorities say a man was found shot to death in the entryway of his home. Neighbors say they heard a commotion earlier in the afternoon.
I heard a man scream out, "No, no, don't do it." And I didn't think anything of it. I just thought he was like yelling at a kid not to go in the street or something.
According to deputies, they were called to the house around 5 o'clock Friday evening by a woman who found the body of her estranged husband. Investigators say they don't have any type of suspect description and are gathering more information to figure out who the shooter may be.
We don't have a strong timeline yet. We're still putting that together, so we don't know exactly how long he's been here.
Now detectives are canvassing the neighborhood and asking anyone with information to please come forward.
I was outside with my kids. Like, we just got out of my car. What if it would have ricocheted? What if somebody, like, if it was a shooting? What if, I mean...
Pretty scary situation.
It really is.
And tonight, investigators are asking anyone with information to please come forward or who may have surveillance video in the area as well. Please provide that to investigators. So far, they have not identified the victim in this case. We're reporting live tonight from Katy. I'm Jonathan Martinez, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Jonathan, thank you. We're following breaking news from Philadelphia right now. That's where a chase involving a stolen ambulance has just ended. The man behind the wheel crashing into other cars along the way. Eventually, officers deployed spike strips, shedding the front tires of the ambulance, setting off sparks before the man finally brought the ambulance to a stop. Officers swarmed in and arrested the man.
Breaking news in the global coronavirus crisis here in Texas. There are now 2 new confirmed cases of the potentially deadly virus in San Antonio, bringing the total number up to 11. The CDC reports those infected include 9 evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise ship, also confirmed to have coronavirus, 1 from the group of quarantined Wuhan plane passengers, and 1 who was transferred from the Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in San Diego. Also new tonight, the second confirmed person person-to-person transmitted case of coronavirus in Northern California.
And tonight at a campaign rally in South Carolina, President Trump lashing out at Democrats critical of his handling of the coronavirus threat.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. They're politicizing it. We did one of the great jobs. You say, how's President Trump doing? They go, oh, not good, not good. They have no clue. They don't have any clue. They can't even count their votes in Iowa. They can't count their votes. And this is their new hoax.
NBC's Kelly Kobiea is in Tokyo tonight with how countries around the world are imposing new restrictions.
Tonight, 12 million students in Japan are out of classes. Schools across the country closed for a month to stop the spread of coronavirus. Cases here now top 200 with 2 more deaths, including a 6th passenger from the Diamond Princess cruise ship. Tonight, the World Health Organization raising the risk level globally to very high.
Health systems around the world are not ready and need to be better prepared to absorb the impact.
Disneyland closed its gates for the first time since the devastating earthquake and tsunami in 2011. Tokyo putting the finishing touches on Olympic venues, saying there is no plan B. The games now 5 months away. But officials now considering scaling back the torch relay next month to limit crowds as the new virus pops up in more countries. New Zealand, Nigeria, and 2 cases in Mexico, both men who'd been to Italy. World markets are in a tailspin, stocks plummeting roughly 4% in China, Japan, and Europe. In Switzerland, the Geneva Motor Show now canceled, the government banning all gatherings of 1,000 people or more. The European outbreak concentrated in Italy, where 4 more people have died and cases spiking again, now at 821. In Iran, they canceled Friday prayers, disinfecting instead. In Jerusalem, Catholic priests being told to give communion by hand only.
And Germany, which now has the 2nd most cases in Europe, is considering canceling all major international events and conferences. Kelly Kobiea, NBC News, Tokyo, Japan.
Stocks selling off sharply again, capping off their worst week of losses since the financial crisis. Investors are concerned about the global economic impact of this outbreak. The Dow dropping 357 points, and that was after it rallied off of its lowest levels of the day. It had been down more than 1,000 points. The Dow losing more than 12% this week. The S&P down 24 points, and the Nasdaq flat on the session. But let's put all of this into perspective now, comparing coronavirus to the flu. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, there are approximately 84,119 people infected with coronavirus worldwide. There is an estimated 1 billion infected with the flu. So far, 2,800 people have died from coronavirus around the world. There have been no deaths here in the United States. And somewhere between 291,000 and 646,000 people die every year from the flu globally. Now, the Texas Education Agency says it is closely monitoring the coronavirus crisis. The agency says it's also working with other Texas agencies to ensure the safety of school districts. We've reached out to several school districts here in the Houston area to find out about their coronavirus preparedness. You can read their statements on our website. Click to Houston.com.
We are following breaking news. A chase involving Harris County Sheriff's deputies has just ended in a crash. The suspects are now on the run. This is a live look at our Houston TransStar camera on the North Freeway feeder road at West Gulf Bank. You can see the flashing lights right there on the right side of your screen. It's not clear what initiated this chase, but we are told an unknown number of suspects ran from the car after crashing it at that intersection. It's the weekend, but how will the weather cooperate?
Well, if you've been paying attention to Frank, it's going to be perfecto.
It's going to be like a tamed horse. It's just going to be saddled and ready to ride. It's going to be perfect. Highs this afternoon. It was beautiful out of Memorial Park. 74, 73 at Hobby, 72 in Galveston. So we got there into the 70s, but now that air is so dry, it's dropping quickly. 40s in Conroe and Cleveland, 54 in Sugar Land, 51 in Houston, 57 down on the island right now. So as we go overnight, it's going to continue to just edge edge down through the 50s and the 40s to an overnight low in Houston of around 46. But the parade tomorrow really will be stellar. 50 at 8 a.m. The run is at 9. So if you're running in the rodeo run, you're in great shape. The parade starts at 10, 62, and then 70 at noon. So a little cool to start, not bad, but you might want to grab a jacket if you're going to the parade just to be on the safe side. The humidity does begin to edge up. We'll talk about that coming up. When we'll hit 80 degrees and when you'll need an umbrella again. It's all straight ahead in weather. Andy?
All right, Frank, thanks so much. Developing tonight, the boil water advisory for most of the city of Houston will continue until at least tomorrow morning. That's when test results on water samples will first be made available. Mayor Sylvester Turner says water pressure has returned to normal throughout the city. Here is a live look right now as crews are still working to repair the 8-foot line. Those repairs will continue through the weekend, but it could be Tuesday before water starts flowing. All exits at Clinton Drive at the East Loop are now open. Clinton Drive is also open between the East Loop and Coast Guard with 1 lane in each direction. Tonight, bars, restaurants across Houston are being forced to make some changes since water can't be used for ice or soda machines.
Right, Channel 2's Hannah McKenzie live in Rice Village tonight talking to bar patrons and business owners. Hannah?
That's right. Good evening, Dominique, Andy. Business down here as usual, though, with a few small changes. However, everyone we spoke with didn't seem to care too much. The tap water isn't flowing, but the drinks are.
We're doing wine instead.
Houston bars and restaurants taking steps to stay open amid a mandatory boil water notice following Thursday's catastrophic main break.
We're not serving tap water, and obviously we're not serving any ice unless if somebody wants to take their own risk, then we're letting them, but we're not going to do it on our own accord.
Down to their last few bottles of water, Brina D'Amico telling us business at D'Amico's Italian Market Cafe is down.
That's probably because of cook-off more than anything.
Several businesses in the area greeting customers first with signs on their doors. Others offering up different solutions.
They had sort of hand wipes instead of, functional water, signs saying, don't use the tap water and stuff like that.
Customers instead advised to drink bottled water or soda.
So what are you drinking right now?
7-Up in a can.
I noticed you have ice, though.
I did, yeah. Not entirely sure where that came from.
Clean ice, a hot commodity around these parts. David Cook at Prego's restaurant says they're one of the lucky few.
We do bring in these nice kind of ham-formed 3-inch by 3-inch cubes of ice that are really used for your higher-end scotches and bourbons, and that's what we're working with now for almost all the cocktails that we can make.
Admittingly rationing that ice, Cook says they're pushing customers to alternatives.
Wine is flowing freely, so that's a good thing.
Not too free, though.
No, yeah, you have to pay for it still, but yes.
Again, the boil water notice will remain in effect at least until tomorrow morning. That's when we'll get those results back from testing taken earlier today. Reporting live in Rice Village, Hannah McKenzie, KPRC Channel 2 News.
But no free wine. Good try, Hannah. Well, sinking and spilling oil. Coming up, why the ship's captain ran it into the ground on purpose.
Removed from a Texas courtroom, the outburst caught on camera. Next on Channel 2 News at 10.
What happened? New at 10 o'clock, a man found guilty of kidnapping and killing a 13-year-old girl had to be pulled from a Dallas courtroom today after he lost his temper. Desmond Jones was found guilty for his role in the death of Siobhan Randall. Investigators believe it was payback for stolen drugs. Jones was sentenced to 99 years in prison.
A cargo ship partially submerged off Brazil's coast is now leaking oil. Oil could be seen as far as 2,700 feet from the grounded ship near São Luís. The captain ran the ship into the ground to prevent it from sinking after the ship started taking on water. The South Korean ship was scheduled to deliver 300,000 tons of iron ore to China. Crew members abandoned ship. Happening tomorrow, voters in South Carolina go to the polls. Tonight, the candidates are making their last pitch. President Trump is also in the Palmetto State hosting a rally.
Yes, and it all comes before the Texas primary on Super Tuesday. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest now from Columbia, South Carolina.
On the eve of the primary,
South Carolina gets to reset this race.
A final push for votes in the Palmetto State.
Well, I think you're going to make me the next president of the United States.
I think we got a shot to win this.
Most analysts say Joe Biden must win this after poor showings in Iowa and New Hampshire and a second-place finish in Nevada.
Biden looks like the guy who can win South Carolina, which we have been saying since last year.
Right.
We've always sort of thought of it as a somewhat of a firewall.
The latest poll shows the former vice president with a 20-point lead, but undecided voters like Mary Beth Berry could change those numbers.
I'm in a really big dilemma about what I'm going to do.
A dilemma she took directly to Joe Biden during a town hall campaign stop.
Fire. Because you see Bernie, you see Elizabeth Warren, you see that fire. That's what I'm looking for. What is your fire?
Decency and honor and restoring this country's.
While the man they want to replace.
If South Carolina is Trump country, let me hear you scream!
Held a rally in Charleston just hours ahead of the polls opening.
This November, we are going to take back the House, we are going to hold the Senate, and we are going to keep the White House.
Both sides looking to light a fire heading into the weekend and Super Tuesday. Jay Gray, NBC News, Columbia, South Carolina.
Now here's health reporter Haley Hernandez with a story you'll see all new Monday at 10.
A toxic cancer-causing chemical in the city's tap water.
It's in way more of our water supplies than I think any of us have imagined.
Now KPRC Channel 2 Investigates has the brand new test results.
Everybody's got to drink water. So they start to freak out.
The changes we could finally see after our years of relentless reporting into the safety of our drinking water. Monday at 10.
It is night 2 of the Rodeo Cook-Off at NRG Park.
More than 250 teams are competing on the grill at the World Championship Barbecue Contest. Now, not all tents are open to the public, but you will score big at the garden stage. You can get a sliced brisket plate with chips and beans. And as for food prep, well, the boil water advisory did not stop the show.
We've had no water issues at all. We just use water for cleanup. We have bottled water. And we serve a lot of alcohol, so people don't want water when they're drinking a lot of alcohol.
We cook brisket, chicken, ribs, potatoes, green beans, a little bit of everything.
There you go. And tomorrow's cook-off contest will feature kids from ages 8 to 14. They will be judged on presentation, tenderness, and taste.
Ah, brisket, chicken, ribs. Frank, take your pick.
I know. I think probably pulled pork.
Oh, okay.
I love that. But that usually comes with a sweet sauce, and that's, you know.
Yeah, well,
a little bit of
all
both.
bets are off for the next 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Right. That's right. But, you know, good set of ribs is hard to beat.
Wash it down with some fried Oreos.
There you go. I know, right? Hey,
and non-water.
Not water. I tell you what. Speaking of water, some of my Sunset people came through tonight.
Oh, sure did.
Is that says weekend to me?
Yeah.
That from Baytown Bill. Look at this from Ron Wooten out of Galveston. Isn't that gorgeous?
Man, yes.
This one from Capitol at Texas City.
Nice.
So peaceful.
How about League City, Texas Santa? This beautiful from John Sedlick up in Humble area in Kingwood.
That's just setting the stage for us, Frank.
And it's a little cool, so find a friend.
A big one.
What does that say,
or
Rodeo?
A little one.
Does that say Rodeo? Okay, happy Go Texan Day. 54 right now. South winds at 6, so they've turned. They were west all day. That's why it was so dry. Now it's turning more south. It's going to turn south and southeast as we go through the weekend. So the humidity will start to come up a little bit because of that. Don't cancel any plans, I can tell you that. There's Galveston, 57, southwest there at 8. In fact, if you're headed that way, it's 65 for tomorrow, 70 on Sunday, and a lot going on. They have Mardi Gras for special folks Saturday from 12 to 4. A big presentation at the Bryan Museum, an American in Paris at the Grand. Donovan and Rebecca presents at X's and O's. It's kind of a Cirque du Soleil between that couple. They're fabulous. In the meantime, upper 40s, low 50s. It's cool. It is on the chilly side, and the air is still dry, even though the winds are beginning to turn more south. It's going to be a cool night, so get ready for that. These 50s that we are seeing around the area are going to go right right down through the 40s for a lot of you already have. So tomorrow morning we're at 45, 46, 47, but we do get into the 60-degree mark by the time we get to 10 o'clock for the parade. So that should be in good shape, and then 70 by noon. So we warm up under a lot of sunshine into the 70s. Look for 75, 76 for a high tomorrow. High pressure's in control. That brings in the southeasterly flow right through Sunday and Monday. 80 degrees by Monday. Looking for Tuesday to bring in this next front. So we may see a sprinkle Monday, but it's really Tuesday that we're watching for this front to come through. Possibility Tuesday night, we could see a little lightning with that. So we'll keep a close eye on there. Not a lot of rain. Most of that's going to be up on the Tennessee Valley, but we can see a little bit trying to come our way as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. Not a whole lot, maybe a quarter of an inch. So your power planner goes from 46 to 76. A bit more humid for the weekend haircast, but all in all, looks pretty good. Temperatures continue to warm. Nice for the Dynamo and the SaberCats. 80 on Monday, 78 on Tuesday. There's that Wednesday front, a little cooler. We spring forward on Saturday into Sunday and lose an hour of sleep, but means we get an hour of sun in the afternoon. So we'll start seeing sunsets around 7:20 instead of 6:20.
Ah, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, it will be nice. All right, keep those click to pins coming in the sunsets.
You're loving them. We're loving them. Thank you so much. I know sports is next.
Stay with us.
Welcome to the Xfinity Sports Desk, and howdy, Frank. Let's lean into this whole theme, shall we? There are a few more things more interesting in the NBA than beef. And today's beef is USDA Prime. Houston's James Harden versus Milwaukee's Giannis Antetokounmpo. The past two MVPs, it's a good old standoff. Giannis took shots at Harden over All-Star Weekend. Harden responded today in an ESPN interview. Let's take a look at how this beef has gone from simmer to sizzle.
I'm between Kemba and Trae Young.
Wait, you don't want the dribbler?
I want somebody that's gonna pass the ball. That's what I want.
I don't see what the joke is, but I didn't even see it. And I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I just know none of them can mess with me. I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill, you know? I'll take that any day.
That is spicy. Rockets in transactional news, less spicy, announced they've signed combo forward Jeff Green for the rest of the season after originally giving him a 10-day contract. Uncle Jeff been really solid for Houston, averaging 10 points a game in 4 games. Cy Creek, so good, taking on Summer Creek in some state playoff action. First quarter, Rory Harmon, the pass to Taylor Jackson, and that is going to put the Cougars on the board first. Next play, though, Bulldogs bite back. Malia Johnson up the basket, gets it in there. Cougars leading by only 1, but how many times have we seen this? Rory Harmon and Kendall Hunter, Cy Creek bucket. Cougars remain undefeated. They win 65-37. Ridge Point and Clear Springs battling tonight in the first half is going to end with Kenna Gibson taking the shot. Bang, 19-15 lead at halftime for Ridge Point. Third quarter, Danae Johnson the steal, and she is going to take it all the way back for the layup. 31-23 Charger lead at this point. Game would go back and forth, but Aaliyah Fontenay with the layup here for the Panthers. Chargers, too much in a close game, 51-47. Clear Springs wins. And a congratulations to the Village School and Coach Doug Brotherton. They bring home the TAP 6A state championship, beating down Prestonwood Christian out of Plano. The Astros continue spring training with one of their main pitchers on the mound. Zach Greinke pitched 2 relatively clean innings Friday. He did give up just 1 unearned run after a throwing error and a sac fly. He struck out 3, though, and gave up only 1 hit in the Astros win over the Marlins. Texas and LSU playing at Minute Maid Park, and this game tied at 2, and DJ Petrinsky sac fly will give the Longhorns the lead, but in the 6th inning, 3-2 Texas, and Daniel Cabrera hits an absolute freaking laser to right. LSU takes the lead. LSU holds on for the win, 4-3. Tigers take it. I believe that we have now gotten absolutely everything across the gauntlet into this show.
Yes, including the hats, bookended.
We look like bookends.
Yeah.
And a freaking laser.
A laser.
I love Austin Powers more than anything in the world. I think it applies at any time.
And I think we're the same hat size.
We are 6 5/8.
Give me that hat.
Take it. I'm not trying to do a standoff with Dominique.
There you go. Perfect.
And the music kind of adds to the ambiance.
That's it. See y'all after the break.
Message.
All right, there's your rodeo run tomorrow morning. 48 at 7, 58 at 9, 66 at 11. All in all, a beautiful weekend in store. So get out your hats and
get ready to rodeo.
Dust off your boots.
I just wanted to do this real quick. Maybe lock the doors and turn the lights down low. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but I just wanted to do that.
That was good.
That's it. Have a great weekend.